Good evening, this is Scorpio Chronicles, and you are watching Kickstarter Connections. Good evening, this is Scorpio Chronicles. You are watching Kickstarter Connections. It is March 9th. Today is the 9th, right? Yeah, it's March 9th. Get my days mixed up, y'all. It's March 9th, and we are here with another show at Kickstarter Connections. Of course, I am here, a part of the Indie Comic Dispatch. Kickstarter Connections. This is where we introduce independent creators, comic books, and for you to get that information out there to you, so you know and have that awareness. Speaking of independent comics, do me a favor, go over to indiecomicdispatch.com where you can read all the reviews and updates on new artists and their up and coming books and projects. Also, you can get a top 10 list that is currently going on about the top 10 comics that we currently have. And just in case if you do want to support, we do have a Patreon that you can support us with. This is help keeps our lights on and help keep Kickstarter connections going. You do like Kickstarter connections, right? I'm sure you do. So that's why you're going to go ahead and hit that Patreon right there and go ahead and support. I appreciate you if you do. Tonight, we have a good show for you tonight. We have a double entendre, a dual Kickstarter going on that is going to take place. We have Dope Girl Comics and Bristol Media Group coming on. We have Miss Lena. How are you, Lena?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
Good. And we also have Mr. Mac himself. How are you?
What's good? What's good? How you doing?
I am great. I am great. I am glad to have you on. We have been waiting for like what, almost a month to have this
Yep.
interview because we planned this like a month in advance. We don't type of
Yep.
people where we have month in advance stuff. And they'll let you know. I'll contact you 2 days before. Here's the link. This is what you got to do. Log in this time so we can be ready and get the show rolling.
You're
But
on
yes,
point.
of course, I am glad to have you all here on Kickstarter Connections. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started and get into the books because I want the people to know this is a double Kickstarter. So there's actually two different books. We're actually going to have each one talk about their book and the creative team that's behind it and stuff like that. And then we're going to have them combine together and tell us about the Kickstarters with the rewards and everything. Y- You all get the gist of what's going to happen. So that's what's actually getting ready to go on. So as of right now, we're going to start with ladies first. Miss Lena,
Yes.
Dope Girl Comics. We're going to go ahead and start with you. Do me a big favor. Tell us about yourself and how did you become a comic book creator?
Okay. First of all, my name is Lena Saint. I am Haitian American, born in Haiti. So I'm
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm in the process of getting that. So I started when I came to America. I didn't speak any English,
Oh,
but
wow.
some we turn on
Mm-hmm.
WB11 back in, and we had Superman, X-Man,
Oh, yeah.
and Pinky and all the other good cartoons back then. And you know what? So
Yeah.
and so, but
You
it was
kind of,
yes,
Lena, you kind of cut it in and out just a
sorry.
little bit. All
So
right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you got it.
yeah, so as I'm getting older,
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can hear you
seeing
better.
over the years, the cartoons and stuff still it's not enough,
Hmm.
representation of someone that looks. And
Yeah.
then I have my daughter, I think Princess the Frog is a little bit better, but that's when we finally got a black prince.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do I don't want to like add to what they got going on. So I
Hmm.
just decided to make my, and
Hey,
yeah,
that's understandable. If they don't have what you're looking for, Sometimes you got to create your own. That is not a problem at all. But that was good to hear. I think a lot of us started up with the Superman, the Batman, watching those as kids and
Mhm.
things of that matter. Because I've seen those types of old cartoons and things of that matter growing up, which kind of influenced a lot, which didn't know it was going to lead me here, but hey, you never know where the future will take you. Mr. Max from Bristol Media Bristol Media Group, excuse me. I changed the name without your knowledge. I do apologize.
It's all
If you
good.
could do me a big favor, and can you tell us about yourself and how did you become a comic book creator?
Well, as far as comics, it was a thing for me. I used to go to the bodega. I didn't have like comic stores, so I'm from
Hmm.
Brooklyn. So by the projects, we had the Arab corner store,
Hmm.
and they had the swinging book rack that
The
used to
little
turn. Yeah,
black
little
book right?
turnstile.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was all filled with comics. So I was kind of like the comic book curator there because I would come there and if there was the same titles that was there from 2 weeks ago, I'm raising hell. Like it was just the same Daredevil, the
Hmm.
same Alpha Flight. And I was into that. The X-Men, Alpha Flight. I like
Yeah.
Daredevil when Wolverine got his first run. The artwork was just amazing. He had beautiful covers, Wolverine. Like the art just really grabbed me. That's what really like
Yeah.
grabbed me into the world. Obviously, was the art. So at that time, anything I seen, I always had this attitude that I seen it. Once I seen it once, I was a master in it.
Hmm.
Because I would watch the Shaw Brothers. If I seen it once, I was already Tiger Claw expert. I seen it, so now I know
Uh-huh.
it. And that's how the kind of little kid that I was. So
Hmm.
I went home and I started drawing, tracing. And I said, all right, tracing is cheating because I never like to cheat myself.
Yeah.
So I would just watch it and enlarge it. So I would take little pictures and then draw it really big and try to turn it into posters. And
Right.
I did one of Cyclops, and it looks exactly like the picture. It was like my greatest masterpiece ever. I was like Leonardo da Vinci. I showed it
Question.
to
Question for
everybody
you.
who,
Question
yes,
for you, Max. Do you still have it? Is the question.
no.
Shame on you.
And you know why? Because listen, that was the only part of me that was childhood.
Yeah.
We have a saying in the Caribbean called "force ripe," and I was force ripe. I
Hmm.
was doing things that only that adults should be doing.
Yeah.
What you name it, way before my time. So when I was trying to keep up with the older folks to do things I ought not to be doing, that was the only thing that grounded me and made me feel like a child.
Yeah.
And when I took that Cyclops and I showed it to everybody, they seen the child in me. But when I wasn't in front of my parents, I wasn't all that. I was a grown man. I was sneaking into clubs. I was doing all kind of things,
Yeah.
criminal activity, you name it. But that always made me felt the age that I was supposed to be. And I always thought
Yeah.
maybe the life, since it was such a savage lifestyle, it's the 80s, it's cracked out, it's all kind of things going on. We look back now and we laugh, but right now, if somebody would have painted that scene, it would have been like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back
That's.
then, we still found joy in
Uh-huh.
amongst all of that. That was my joy.
Yeah.
And that never left me. But like I said, life happens. You grow up, had children,
Hmm.
you got to go to work, you got to pay for these children. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying to
That's
you?
that's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
even though I'm a little child, I'm going to be 44 this year. So it's like at the end of the day, life moved fast. But that never left.
you're
Yeah.
not a child, Max. Max, you're not a child no more.
No, I understand what I'm saying.
I'm just joking.
The
You a
inner
child.
child,
Look,
the inner child,
it's
they try
nothing
to kill.
wrong.
They try to kill the inner
It's nothing
child.
wrong. I tell people I'm a 37-year-old kid because I still
I don't
do
know,
kid
proud of it.
things. I believe in acting my shoe size and not my age. I'm just a kid with responsibilities. So that's what I tell
A
people all the
kid with
time. That's
responsibility.
all I am, a
Fact.
kid with responsibility.
I
Miss
like that
Lena,
one, bro. That's
That-
the
Miss
t-shirt. That's the
yeah,
t-shirt, bro.
kid with
Fact.
responsibilities. Miss Lena, back to you. Do me a favor. Tell us about your project and the creative team that is behind the project.
Okay. I don't have a creative team.
Oh wow.
Yes. Um, this was actually last year after my first
Uh-huh.
gonna be bad busy,
Mhm.
and I had a co-writer that did me so dirty.
Oh wow.
So I would keep the story because you so pressed about because you co-wrote and you did. So I'm like, you know what? Keep your story. I deleted it, and I'm like, how can I write my own stories? Something that
Yeah.
me, and it's written by me. So I went to YouTube and I learned how to write a script.
Yeah.
And I think my script is okay for beginning,
Hmm.
but I still have a lot.
All got room to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better with
Work in
time.
progress.
I
Yeah,
mean, your first book, I've had other people tell me they were like, our first book, we know it was crap, but we still
right,
we still put it out
right,
because sometimes you need to put out that first book to get. Now, some people may say this and may say that. I always have that mindset, don't get angry when
right.
people start criticizing your stuff. Just take out your pen and paper, your mental pen and paper, and be like, okay, yeah, I didn't do that to my book, but I know to do that next time. I didn't do this, but I know to add this, to add that. But yeah, I believe this book is going to get you that start and get you that understanding that you need, and the next book will probably be even better. Now,
Right.
same question to Mr. Max. Tell us about your project and the creative team behind the project, or is it just you?
Well, the creative team is me and my artist, and it almost lets you. It almost this comic is like real selfish. It's like we looking to cut everybody out
Hmm.
because what happens is I'm a one man army. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm not gonna is humility is always golden, and I
Hmm.
embrace it. But I will never undersell myself on what I'm trying to bring. You understand? So it's a fine
Hmm.
line that we all have to walk. You understand what?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think like a movie. You understand? So once I have that right artist that can
Hmm.
execute my ideas, which I did find on an Upwork site when I just
Hmm.
had a whim, and it wasn't even before I came to this algorithm and I met all these crazy creatives that do such fascinating work. But once
Yeah.
I met him, I actually learned from him how to make my script better because not only was he an artist, but he was a lifelong lover of the comic book medium, period, in
That's
all its facets, from
hmm
historical to historical Filipino comic book artist to
hmm
teaching me the art of the script, panel flowing.
Mhm.
I'm sitting out here doing my thing with him and listen and having a master class at the same time
hmm
and doing this all the way in the Philippines on a 13-hour offset from Eastern Standard to where
Yeah.
he is,
Yeah.
talking to him early in the morning, 4 o'clock when I'm going to my construction job and going back and forth.
Yeah.
But once I met him, I never let him go because of one thing I understand is that you can learn things, but you cannot learn passion. You
Right.
cannot
Correct.
learn ambition and you cannot
Correct.
learn drive. Either
Right.
you have it or you don't. But once you have it, anything could be built upon that. That's the foundation for anything.
That's
So
true.
once I found that in him, I said, we're gonna grow together, bro. And I'm gonna have artists help me and do this and do that, but I'm always gonna stay with you. He doesn't even I might set him such and such, so he probably thinks
Hmm.
I'm just being really happy client. But that's
Yeah.
the kind of loyalty I show because I seen the growth I had from just
Uh huh.
working with him for this one title and how I came. So what I try to bring to the game now, I'm coming in here as a student,
Hmm.
but I learned a lot and I'm here to show people what I've learned. And I'm here to show you that even though it's my first, I'm making it epic
That's
because you
true.
only get one chance to make a first impression,
That's correct.
right? So I'm glad that it took that long. This comic book
Hmm.
cover that I had is almost a year and a half old, but it didn't it aged like wine.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? He was not wrong because the detail, everything, the story. I wrote this whole universe staring at this one picture.
Yeah.
Took me down a void. So that's where I'm at. So right now it's
Hmm.
me. It's building
Uh huh.
some news coming,
Mhm.
Hmm.
but every journey we give in one step, and that step is me. And then from there you're gonna see this thing start to blow.
That's awesome. That is
Mhm.
awesome. Dope girls. We have Mr. David down here. He says hello to everyone. He said he loved you all stuff on IG, especially Dope Girls. He said he loved some musical fan art for Afro Demon.
Oh,
So that is awesome. So you have Mr. David there, and of course
oh,
he's saying hello, which I can. There need to be some music behind that
It definitely
those
will
comments because
be
that's
because that is the 70s, bro,
that
and
is
you know that
dope.
vibration
You
is
my
just
gotta have music.
epic.
my theme for it is James Brown, the big payback.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
I
I love James Brown.
You know, because the story's on the Kill Bill vengeance vibe,
I
so there's a
love it.
big payback to pay. And I ain't gonna front. You know what's funny? When I used to take self defense, that's what we used to do our katas when we used to
Hmm.
do the kicks and the punches because of the movement. But
Yeah,
that's a real nice song to get your ass whipped to, you
Yeah.
that
know?
is very, very good. Miss Lena, we're gonna go back to you. Explain the history, which you already kind of gave me just a little bit of the history with the first question. Explain a little bit more of that if you can, and how long have you been working on the comic book and the idea? You already gave me that idea. You said it was mostly based on like a bad bitch vibe, but
Right.
you kind of gave me that. But give me just a little bit more of how you came up with that idea. Did it just pop up in your head? How the afro came about? What
Okay.
happened?
Okay. I am an overthinker, so I sleep very late at night because I
Hmm.
have ideas that's just hunting me like stop. So when I came with,
Yeah.
I like I told you earlier, I had the and
Hmm.
I followed this page with natural, beautiful with girl called
Yeah.
Oh, I think you might know it. I forgot.
I think it's like Afro. Is it like Afrocentric or something like that? Is
I
something?
Yes, Afro Princess, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think I've seen that page on IG.
Yeah, and that's when the idea kept growing, and the title is Afro.
Hmm.
And long ago, I would watch Pam Grier, so I was
Of course,
Pam Grier, and I'm like, yo, he's a badass.
the mother.
I'm inspired by
Love me some Pam.
Bill. I'm like, how can I put Kill Bill and
Mhm.
Foxy Brown?
And that's exactly what Afro
Yeah,
Demons.
That
yes,
is
Kill Bill meets Pam
amazing.
Grier. You
That
yes,
know
is
what I'm saying?
amazing.
So
Yeah,
right.
Foxy Brown meets Kill Bill. That's
I love it,
definitely it
love it,
right
love it,
there.
love it, love it, love it. But yeah, I love Foxy Brown. I think I've seen them all. Foxy Brown,
Yes, I
Coffee.
oh, but Foxy Brown
Yeah,
is number
Foxy Brown is the main one.
yes.
And Foxy is the main one. Mr. Max, right back to you. Give me a
Yeah.
little bit. I think you kind of gave me a pretty much a little bit of the history. So pretty much let's just go into how long you've been working on your book and the idea. What did you stem that idea from?
Well, the book has been in my head for the longest. Like the whole
Hmm.
universe has been in my head for
Yeah.
the longest because when the passion started to resurface, I started to get
Hmm.
time even before the pandemic. I started to think about it and watch a lot of documentaries like I like to do. Just I'm a
Yeah.
guy that just likes to learn, I'm a
Hmm.
historical guy. I like to read history books, so that's my thing. So when I came across one with Stan Lee, and he's talking about when he met Jack Kirby and how he did Spider-Man. Spider-Man got bit by a radioactive spider. We all know, the origin story.
Hmm.
And he's like, it kind of gets boring with all of this origin stories. I just needed to create a world where I don't have to explain to you why this guy does this. And that's how the X-Men was born with the mutant gene.
Yeah.
So now I can have Iceman, I can have all of these things. So and I was like, okay, I don't have to explain to you. I just have to explain to you this person's emotional story, right?
Hmm.
Which is what a writer wants to do. I want to write this person's journey in life, what battles they had to overcome, what shortcomings they may have, so that these are the things that we associate with when we read as fans, right? That's what
Yeah.
we want to see. Minus, obviously, we're there for the abilities too. That stirs the
Hmm.
pot. But I don't want to have to explain to you about radioactive or come up with these maybe things that probably possibly would never happen to
Hmm.
explain why this origin happened. So I said, okay, let me get rid of that because once I get rid of that and create this universe, now
Hmm.
I could get into the stories, into the people, into human interactions. So I decided that listen, I'm looking for diversity. I'm looking to see people like myself. Let me not run from these tropes, right?
Hmm.
Or let me run right into the trope. Sometimes you're looking for a way and you just go through the front door. So I decided to go through the
Yeah.
front door. That's why I named it race, right? Because
Correct.
racial issues are never really touched. There's not a trope touched
Hmm.
in our normal comic book world when we're reading. And if it is, it's minor. So
Yeah.
I said,
Very
okay,
minor.
so you know what? My whole world is this. I'm not writing this. I'm not panning. I'm not preaching. And I
Hmm.
don't like things that people say they got to wear social justice warriors that just want
Yeah.
to create things to preach their way of life. I'm not into any way of life. I'm into humankind,
Hmm.
right? And
Right.
I'm into always telling you in my stories that we're all the same. And watch, let me show you, right? So when I went into race, I wanted to be race. Yeah, that's the name of it. But when you get into this story, you're gonna understand it's about the hearts of men.
That
Period.
is,
Right.
I
Right,
like
because
that.
when we peel back race, we all just men. We all more similar than we all
Right.
different. If you want to make lists, it will outweigh the other one by far. So that's why I want to attack it head on to make you put your hand up. Maybe you think it's some pandering going on in here. Maybe you want to come here, you see some Trump support. Maybe you think you know what you're seeing. So come and think you know what you're seeing, and then let me show you what I want to really show you. And that's what
Exactly.
race is. So what I didn't like about this diversity is that what happened is black young people now became the most dangerous person to be in this world. And then not only that, anyone that was melanin based, and being a man of history, I started to understand that. Like, if you look at Afro Latinas, they're going through the same thing. 90% of Brazil associate themselves with Africans, but at the end of the day, you will see no melanin on the TV screen or in any media. Right, you go into the Asian community, and Japan had that's the empire that had their foot on the necks of most Asian communities there. Because I went to Tokyo. Tokyo's the New York of the Asia. Everybody trying to get there to make it, right? So that empire had their foot on all the other nations, but the melanated Asian nations, they're the poorest. Vietnam, Cambodia, etc. If you look worldwide, every melanated person is on the bottom. So I took that and I said, melanin is the key to my story. No one has abilities unless you have melanin. So in this world that we have here in race, is a global cataclysmic event that happens in all four corners. These four orbs come, they explode, they're shot out the sky by UN-sanctioned countries that came together to make sure they try to save the earth. It exploded. This black smoke filled the air for about months straight. Everything went back to normal, like the government always does, and they said, "Don't nothing to see here." My story starts 12 years later. It's called The Awakening. Young black melanated people all over the world. The dichotomy of the world has just transformed. Africa is now the most powerful nation in the world. Why? It happened overnight. The melanin, and it took a time, an incubation period. And when this incubation period was over, comas were happening. The government knew all along what was happening and tried to get in front of it and start to realize that Pandora's box was about to be opened. So when the story starts, Pandora's box is open, and we're in the middle of it.
I can see the whole thing behind that, which I think that is a good idea. That you, in order to have power, you have to have melanin, which that's
because the orb
I
is
think that's
starting. It's
a good
scientific,
idea.
so the orb smoke is meshing with the melanin and it's creating these changes within our thing. But this happened way before. I seen the thing going viral when we was getting our powers on the eclipse. Or the other global event. I said, man, this was great marketing material for my comic book. Like, why couldn't y'all hashtag my
hashtag your own stuff?
Yeah, right.
All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go into the talk about the Kickstarter. So I don't know if you all noticed, Bristol and Dope Girls sneakily released the Kickstarter. Didn't say anything. I was just like, it's already up, and they didn't say anything. Why would you do that to me?
No, but I'm a novice. I didn't know. I was so excited. I was waiting long to get approved. I still got approved. I was like, we're live.
I had to wait the next day. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait the next day and then I'm gonna say something. But they did that. But the Kickstarter did launch last week. I believe it was on Thursday.
March 5th. Yeah, March 5th. Friday, March 5th. Yeah.
Friday, March 5th. It launched. And do me a favor, tell me about what March 5th, the goals and the types of rewards that come with those goals.
All right. The goal is 5,000. You're getting 2 debut comic books from 2 brand new creators, right? And you're getting beautiful merch. You're getting T-shirts. You're getting hoodies. We're getting posters. And I just introduced about, I think it was today or yesterday, the tier 7, which is the top tier. During perfecting my craft and taking courses on writing, one thing they tell you is you got to be the God of your story, right? God knows the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? I know the exact end of my story. What I'm giving to all the tier 7 backers is there's going to be a variant cover issue. In this variant cover issue, there will be a splash page. This splash page will be the last page of the whole comic, but it will not make any sense now.
Okay.
They will only make 100 made. I will keep 20, 80. It will never be made ever again. You will be seeing the beginning. You will be seeing the end from the beginning. It's up to you. There's hints in there as the series progress. You will start to put it together. You might even know halfway through what the last splash page is saying. But it's so far into the story, you won't understand.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, Lena, are you offering are you both offering the same rewards, or is it like different rewards? Because it's two different
No,
books
it's two different books, but it's the same joint rewards.
and
Now we
rewards.
start
Okay.
to make sure that within the rewards,
I'm
but
throwing.
we are open to draw our own specials. So
Okay.
if she's free along the way, she wants to join her own special, she'll go ahead and add her own value. Just like how I just added that, that was just on me on my variant cover. So that's just showing you that if you're at the top, this is what you're getting, because you're getting something exclusive, and as a fan and a collector, you want to
Sure.
hold something exclusive that nobody else have. Like, what's the point of me collecting? So
That's
I'm telling
true.
you this as a word, as a creator. I'm giving you my word. I will
Yep.
never remake this. This is why I'm keeping 20.
Right.
Because you ain't selling it on eBay when I blow up and I ain't getting mine. I got to get mine. So there's only 80.
Lena, what were you saying about that?
Mine will probably only be a mystery award. They can unlock a mystery award. I'm not saying
Okay.
it is, but yeah, if they
It's
unlock
a mystery. Let them leave things to mystery.
Yeah, but it'll be
That's-
it.
yeah.
It, and I'll probably
Okay.
10 of them.
It's only about 10 of them.
I'll probably make 10. I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
There's nothing wrong with that. Limited, and then hey, the first 10 get whatever. That's what you
Yeah, I
gotta
mean,
do.
listen, you coming on Kickstarter, we know that there's going to get released to the world. If you exclusive and you VIP, you got to feel like it. That's why there's a rope there. That's why you get campaign. We need to feel special. This is what it is. So if you're going to take your time off, you're going to take your hard-earned money, and if you're going to back us, we're going to do whatever we got to do to get our stories to you and make sure you feel special. So that's why I really did that variant cover to make sure that, listen, if you're high in this tier like this, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
that is true.
You know what I'm saying? So
Go ahead, Lena. What were you saying?
No, I agree with Max. Like, we do appreciate the back, especially
Yeah,
the highest tier.
that is correct.
Us.
Yeah, that is correct. Of course, you gotta appreciate the ones that's back. We love y'all. Like, I appreciate you all for tuning in. We love y'all about that. We hope you keep tuning in and keep coming back, because that's exactly what we want. We want you to come back another round. Now, with knowing those rewards that they're going to get T-shirts, sweaters. There's going to be like a mystery for Dope Girls. We have some other stuff, a variant that's limited for Bristol Media. So now that we know that, after this campaign is over, because I know everyone gets worn out after the whole campaign stuff. They are so tired. The ones that I have recently interviewed, I contact them again, and they're like, I don't want to do no more interviews for a long time. I just want to sit down. They want to sit down and just relax. They were like, they were interviewing all week. So I was like, so after this all is over with this campaign, what comes next for Dope Girls and Bristol? Lena, we're gonna start with you. What comes next with you after this one?
Okay, after this one, I'm actually right now working on issue 2. So my goal is actually to put out issue 2, but at the end of the year, probably around like August, September, probably maybe around my 31st birthday.
Oh, that would be neat.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
That's a gift.
Yes. Because I'm a Scorpio too, so probably around there.
You don't want to do no Scorpio, bad boy. Woo! Passionate people.
Look here, I knew I liked you for some reason.
Just to break.
Scorpio.
Look, the Scorpios, we are nothing.
And with their tongue, your tongue is y'all stinger. Woo! Let you have it.
Trust me. My own mother has told me, she was like, you can cut somebody down with your words. She said, you have said some things to me that hurt me. I'm like, I'm
You gotta
sorry,
watch
Mom.
this.
I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Cause me, I can cut,
Yes.
I can let you know, and I can put you in your place. And like, okay, that's not what I want. Cause I've done it to my mom. Like, Ma, that's not what I asked you to do. Why couldn't you just
Everybody,
do it?
every
And she's
Scorpio
like
I
looking at
know.
me like, I'm like, okay,
Like,
Ma, I'm sorry. The Scorpio
uh-uh.
coming out. But
Yes.
yeah, that's understandable. November 7th. So yeah, I'm a
Yes.
true Scorpio. I have been told that I was born right in the center of Scorpio.
Yes.
So they
In
said
the
I'm a
middle.
true Scorpio. Now, Max, to you,
Hmm.
what is after everything is over? I know you're gonna be tired. Plus, you all are working 9 to 5. So
Hmm.
tell me, what is Bristol Media Group? What's happening after? What are we doing after this
Well,
campaign
first
is
of all,
over?
we don't sleep because sleeping is the cousin of death. We just take naps. You know what I'm saying? You would take hustlers go, we don't sleep, we rest with one eye shut. You know what I'm
For
saying? At the
real.
end of the day, so I got bars for you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in your face. I'm getting my black sands on. You know what I'm saying to you?
Uh,
I'm not going nowhere. So after I finish this, we're going to issue 2. And then issue 3 and 4 going to be a double issue, and it's not going to have any words. Right? It's going to be all action. And
okay.
what I understand as a writer is that script is going to have more words than any other script, even though the comic will have no words.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you write, you got to understand the detail of every panel got to be conveyed to every artist. And what I'm going to try to do is 12 pages, is 48 pages,
Mm-hmm.
12 pages, 4 artists, 4 variant covers. Each artist has
Okay.
his own cover.
Mm.
They get 12. They don't get to see the other 12. No one gets to see the comic till it's done.
Oh, that's neat.
Right?
That's dope.
Rewards through the freaking roof. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be silent. I'm not talking. There's no talking in that whole campaign. There will be no talking. That's the whole thing of the campaign. There will be no talking. I like to talk, so that's gonna be my hardest campaign thus far.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna do interviews with just pictures. The Kickstarter for that will just have pictures. I won't be here. I'm like, nah, I'm just kidding. That's going too far. I'm doing a little bit too much. I'm
Look
doing
here.
way over the top.
Don't have me
I'm
sitting
gonna
through
bring it
Kickstarter
in.
be
I'm gonna
like,
bring it in. I just get outside of myself. I'm gonna
I
bring it
said,
in.
what about your Kickstarter, Max?
But you are
What does that say? I don't. No, you can't do that.
but you I'm gonna be doing the mime man, you know what I'm saying? But
Like,
we
okay,
gonna
this,
play
this live
charades.
is
Whoever
over,
get it
and
is
I'm
gonna
just
get
hanging
a
up.
free package. We're gonna play
Mhm.
charades, whoever get it. It can be done, but I just don't have the
Yeah,
time. But you get the drift. It's just that
right.
it's gonna be a celebration of the artist because
Uh-huh.
the medium thrives over art. There's no comic book without art. And I
Fact.
would never release a comic book without a hot cover. The cover
Mhm.
gotta be hot. When you see the variant
True.
cover, you're gonna be like, damn. That's
Yeah.
what makes it you add it to your collection. This is what the medium
Right.
is. And I got some news coming up. I got Dr. Doolittle Jr. and the Creature Catchers trying to get
Mhm.
that out to you guys by next year. Just did an animated promo. It's through the roof. It got me going nuts right now. Make me
Mhm.
want to just make the cartoon right away.
Yeah.
That's going to be a trilogy, but I'm working on it, making sure that I deliver some great material to you. And so that's the 4. So that's the issue 2. The 3 and 4 going. I'm trying to do that the end of the year. I'm trying to see if I can get that by Christmas because 2 is going to set up 3 and 4. So the
Oh,
gift
okay.
to everybody is going to try to do 3 and 4. I'm trying to get the artist and trying to get it started now. So, because it's going to be a labor of love. You know what I'm saying? So, I need the time to be able to get it done. So, I'm trying to give you 2, 3, and 4 at the end of the year. The
Uh-huh.
beginning of next year, Dr. Doolittle Jr. and the Creature Catchers. And
Yeah.
then next year, I'm trying to launch a We Funder. Not trying to launch, because I don't like to use those words. Those words mean like it's not going to happen. I am going to launch a We Funder next year. I'm
Yeah.
going Black Sands through the whole algorithm, but I'm not going it for Bristol Media Group. I'm not doing it for Black Sands. I'm doing it for every single creative in this algorithm, so we could fire our bosses and all work and play for the team that we own.
That is true.
I
That
want to give
is
all our
true.
bosses a pink slip and take this whole month and just enter the streaming wars with this whole
Mhm.
algorithm. But stay
That's it.
tuned.
We will be watching and we will be waiting and
I'm gonna be
looking
all up in your
for
DMs.
that.
Just like that.
I'll be right there. Trust me, I ain't going nowhere yet.
All
All
right,
right,
all
now
right.
if people out there need to, how can they find your project and support you with your Kickstarter?
Okay. With the kick, well, you go first. Lee.
Okay, the link is in our bios. I have two Instagrams, my personal Instagram and my
Mhm.
Dope Girls Comics. One is Lena_Ooh, like the song from Young M.A. Ooh.
Mhm.
The other one at Dope Girls Comics, girls with a Z at the end. So they can find the link in those two platforms.
Okay. And is it the same thing for Bristol Media Group?
Yes, Bristol_media_group. You could click the link in the bio. We're working on the website, so then you'll be able to go there and see all of these upcoming features that we got. That's going to launch real soon. As soon as this Kickstarter is done, well, I'm doing it simultaneously, but once the Kickstarter is finished, we're going to launch the website, and you'll be able to see all the upcoming things that we have in store. But for now, Bristol_media_group, and you'll see
Mhm.
all the things. Stay tuned to everything we got coming up.
Right.
That is awesome, 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 awesome. So it sounds like you all are still going to be very busy even after this campaign is over, still working on stuff, which is nothing wrong with that at all. You're supposed to keep the
Mhm.
stuff coming, because people you don't want the fans waiting for a long time. You got to keep it coming.
Hey,
Got to
listen, we
once you
didn't
get their
start the
attention,
fire. It's been
yeah.
burning since the world's been turning. You know what I'm saying?
Once you get their attention, you got to keep their attention, or else if you lose them,
Yes. We don't
that's
want to
how.
lose. I don't want to lose none of you guys' attention. That's
No,
why
you
I'm
don't
trying
want to
to
lose
do
any of them.
2, 3, and 4 this year. I'm trying to do the double issue, and I'm trying to just come up with new, innovative things that never been done. So at least I
Yeah,
can say no one has ever gave the first page from the beginning. I'm the
that's
first.
true.
Bristol Media Group is the first. You have never seen a comic book with the last page in the beginning. Boom! Marvel never did it. DC, Boom Studio Images. Nobody has ever released a comic book run
Mhm.
with the last page of the run in the beginning. Variant cover, tier 7 backer, be there or be square. You want to be VIP, that's where you want to be. Exclusive.
Yay.
When I blow up, you blow up too.
That is also what good way to end the show.
That's
that
how
right,
you do
that
it.
right there.
So,
We thank you for Bristol Media Group, Dope Girls Comments. We thank you
Dope Girls
all for
Comic. The
joining
straight up, I
us.
got an announcement coming soon. We got some mystery tiers to unlock. Dope
Mhm.
Girls Comics, Afro Demons. Listen, man, Afro Demon is an amazing story. When you see Foxy Brown meets Kill Bill, when you see this poster we're gonna release listen, man, it's epic. Don't miss this Kickstarter, people.
That is awesome. That is awesome. With all of that being said, Dope Girls Comics, Bristol Media Group, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight and for getting that information out about your Kickstarters. Of course, we wish you all the best. We know that you're going to overdo it and get what you're supposed to do. But with that being said, if there's nothing else, well, I thank you for
Lena,
joining.
you got anything to say? I did a whole lot of
But
talking.
yeah, I'm sorry, you guys.
It's all good.
This is so unprofessional.
But this is what it is, the independent grind.
Yes. Ooh, God.
Before we end, Miss Lena, you got something that you want to
Yes,
mention?
I do. I would like to say thank you for doing this interview.
No problem.
I did reach out to women
Hmm.
that are part of the so-called community, blah blah blah, and they didn't give me a chance. But
Wow.
yeah, so just
Well, you always have a place here with Kickstarter Connections
And
from
we
Scorpio to
appreciate you,
Scorpio.
King. We know, and we always, the
Yes,
appreciation is what you always got to keep, because
always.
sometimes you think people are obligated to do so. No one's
Correct.
obligated to do anything. So anything that you do, we appreciate wholeheartedly.
Not a problem. I thank you all for joining me. It's a humbling experience. I
that.
thank you all for joining me on tonight. If there's nothing else, as I always say, stay positive, test negative.
Yes.